Hello everyone, and today we will debate about the interesting topic of fracking, covering what it is, why people would use fracking as their main source of energy, why people wouldn't use it, and my final judgment. Hope you enjoy. Fracking, or hydraulic fracturing, is used to extract gas and oil from hard-to-reach shale rock. It involves drilling a well of a depth of 2 to 3 kilometers and pumping high-pressure mix of water, sand, and chemicals in order to generate small fractures in shale rock. Fracking is and continues to be a very polarizing topic. While the method of extracting gas from rocks deep underground helped the US leapfrog Russia as the world's largest natural gas supplier, in the UK the technique has been roundly condemned by environmental campaigners because it uses huge amounts of water, potentially hazardous chemicals, and can cause earth tremors. So, why is fracking a good thing? Firstly, the need for water resources is minimal compared to other industries. Fracking takes more than 70,000 gallons of water to prepare a single well to release oil and natural gas from the rock strata below. Even though that figure might seem like a massive amount, it's far less than what's necessary to extract petroleum, coal, or even nuclear energy. Some products, such as biofuel, require 440,000 gallons of water to produce the same output that we get from 10 times fewer resources through the fracking industry. There are even times when the fluids are reusable, which decreases the overall commitment needed to release the usable energy needed every day. However, fracking isn't all good. There are some bad sides to it as well. Earthquakes can occur during and after the fracking process. This has happened in some US states, which caused the UK to ban fracking completely for a considerable period of time. These earthquakes occur in places where there are no known faults that should cause tremor on the scale that scientists can detect. All 21 of these earthquakes occurred in US Midwestern states between 1960 and 2000, and all of these earthquakes were registered at 3 or less on the Richter scale. Since then, the average number of earthquakes has continued climbing to reach almost 200 per year. There are over 1,000 of these events registered in 2015 across the country, the strongest of which happened in Oklahoma in 2016, when they experienced a 5.6 tremor believed to be linked to fracking. One of many protesters' main concerns is that fracking installations will cause scars on the landscape of their houses. However, fracking installations are not permanent. Fracking wells do not leave permanent scars on the land. Even when property owners don't own the rights to national gas storages under the property, the access that fracking companies and rigs need is minimal. Once the drilling process is complete and the well is built, the energy reserves are added to the local infrastructure for processing, refinement, and distribution. Most operate independently with little, if any, supervision from mechanics or other repair personnel. However, protesters may have a point that investing in fracking is not a very good long-term option for our environment. Natural gas and oil are fossil fuels that have a finite reserve of energy. This means that there's a possibility that it may not be available for future generations to use. Investing in the fracking industry might satisfy our short-term needs, but doesn't address what might be necessary in the years to come. Natural gas emits 60% less carbon dioxide as greenhouse gas, which is very positive, but doesn't come close to what solar, wind, or geothermal energy provides. Renewables are a carbon-neutral proposition over time. Fracking is and will never be a carbon-neutral project. So, what's my final verdict? Is fracking good or bad for humanity, for the future, and for the environment? Fracking provides several economical benefits. It can provide millions of dollars in tax revenues to local schools, create high-paying jobs to set up fracking stations, and less reliance on imports. Former Prime Minister Theresa May once told the Yorkshire Post that shale gas extraction was essential because of the impact that it has on future energy security. Fracking is and always will have notable environmental concerns to review, even if government officials say that the proper disposal of fluids doesn't pose as a risk to communities. Critics of fracking often label shale oil and natural gas as one of the dirtiest fossil fuels that we could possibly use. So, what's my verdict? Well, I think that it's a 20th century solution for a 21st century problem. I just think that the current generation can afford to spend a little more time to create something more permanent, a long-term solution that will hold for many generations to come, rather than to just have an energy source that only covers our current basic needs. And with that, I would like to thank you all for listening to this podcast. I hope you found it informative and gave you a further insight on how fracking impacts our society and what we should do about it in the future. Thank you very much.